Hello again, I'm so pleased you're following me on this journey. In this series of 120 short videos, I will introduce you to each of the Beautiful Women Project sculptures and the women behind their stories. I'm Cheryl Ann Webster and I'm the creator of the family-friendly Beautiful Women Project. Let me introduce you to Rejoice. Rejoice. Rejoice each breath you take, with each experience lived, with every memory created. Back in 2003, when I conceived the Beautiful Women Project and started to get volunteers to be cast so that I could make all the clay sculptures for the project, I met Rejoice. Rejoice was celebrating her 65th birthday, as well as her retirement from a wonderful career as a teacher. Women come to the project and volunteer for a whole range of reasons, but she's the only one I know of that came on her birthday. So I assumed she was celebrating herself. Of course she was celebrating her, but in addition, she was here to celebrate and honour her mother, her grandmother and her aunt. Sadly, Rejoice's mum, grandmother and aunt had all passed away from breast cancer, leaving Rejoice at high risk. So every year she had to be tested. She had to be extra vigilant to make sure that if any cancerous cells were detected, she could have treatment as soon as possible. However, every year she got tested and the results came back as negative. She couldn't rejoice yet. It could come up at any time. So each year she went and was retested and retested and retested. Many years went by and she got the great news that it was still negative. How had she missed this? In our 65th year, she got another test letting her know it was negative. She did not have breast cancer. She was so relieved for yet again another year of being in the clear. And the doctors mentioned to her, if after all these years of negative tests and this your 65th birthday, your risk of getting breast cancer is really low. It was time to fully rejoice. So while she holds sorrow in her heart for the women in her life she lost, she could now fully embrace the life that she had, moving forward with less fear and less concern. Now, 1,000,000 years ago, I used to be a florist. And in floristry in England at the time, whenever we created a funeral wreath, we put a ribbon across it, and then in silver letters, we would put the person's name or their title. So you can see as I decorated Rejoice, I have that resembled in there. First, she has the banner across her chest with the stamp of approval. It was time to rejoice. But I kept it muted simply because it was still layered with sorrow from those who she had lost. So the ribbons across the belly of her mum, a grandmother and her aunt are just like the ribbons we put across the funeral wreaths with those silver letters denoting the names grandma, mum, aunt. I feel blessed that Rejoice came to me to celebrate her 65th birthday, to fully embrace her retirement years, and more than anything, to rejoice at the fact that even though she'd lived a life with high risk of getting breast cancer, she was in the clear, and she hoped to remain that way for the rest of her days. When gallery visitors meet Rejoice, they say the same things over and over. How sad it is to have such losses. We all have been touched by somebody with cancer. But how wonderful it is to have that hope that even though a person at such high risk was able to rejoice at the age of 65, knowing she was in the clear. Today you have met Rejoice, and together we will rejoice in the good health that we have and hope for others. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave your comments and questions on any social media platform where you find me. I look forward to connecting with you more and introducing you to all 120 Beautiful Women Project sculptures and the stories of the women behind them. Take good care. I'm Cheryl Ann Webster. and you'll find me at CherylAnnWebster.com.